Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B Ward, this is the Post Mortem Show. I am Dom.
And I'm JD. And today, Awoooooooooooo! Werewolves of Post Mortem. Boom, 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 boom.
Werebiffs of London.
The Werebiffs of London, that's right.
That's where you don't just turn into a dog, you turn into a retarded dog with a giant dick.
It's going to be much worse than any werewolf movie that's ever been made. That's it. Dude, why hasn't Werewolf Bestiality been made?
I bet it exists.
I bet it does.
It's got to be out
there. It's called
there.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more of a buffalo, but
yeah. Were-buffalo.
The Werebiffs of London. That's right, because we're going mainstream. We're going with one of the main kind of characters when you think about horror. Although, a shallow pool to pull from.
There's a lot of bad werewolf movies.
There's a lot of werewolves, not so much.
Yeah.
We ain't doing no Twilight, right? There ain't not going to be no Twilight on our list.
No.
Actually, I haven't seen or reviewed your list. So I don't know if you've
seen every single Twilight movie.
You sound proud.
Part of my life that I will never get back.
And I have seen about
tried to read the
5
book.
minutes.
I tried to read the book because it was sitting there, and I'm like, I'm not going to talk shit about this thing until I've at least tried it. And I tried it, and I got about 30 pages in, and I put it down, and I never picked it up again.
That's like saying, like, oh, well, I tried it. That's like herpes. It's like herpes.
I tried cancer.
No. Hear me out, okay? It's like, I'm not going to talk shit about this girl until I try it.
Right.
And then you get herpes.
Yeah.
And that shit lasts forever.
Yeah. And now, I wasn't going to talk shit about the book until I tried it, and now Stephanie Meyer... And now I know Stephanie Meyers wrote Twilight.
You're starting to sparkle right now. I can see it on your
fucking...
on your skin.
Yeah. That's actually because I jacked off with glitter lube.
It's not just a twinkle in your eye, it's on your skin.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're jacking off in a femme skin, you get sweaty, and glitter sticks to you, and that shit never comes off.
Little callback to about 7 times we've talked about Tom Skins. Yeah, so we're going with top 5.
My Kristen Stewart femme skin.
That's our rating system.
The mouth never closes.
That's our rating system. Kristen Stewart's femme skins.
Done.
Her own brand. It's like when porn stars have the fleshlights made of over their vagina. She's having a femme skin.
Yeah. With the mouth open and the teeth sticking out.
That's awesome. So, we will get to our top 5 werewolves. But before we do that, we got a little bit of horror news. Horror news.
You just dump beer all over your phone?
And my lap.
Oh, shit.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I was just super excited because a couple episodes ago, I told you my bear story.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you had a Bear Story 2.0.
It's not Bear Story 2.0.
Oh, okay.
But it's from the same location, but it wasn't a bear.
It was a man wielding a scooter.
No, it wasn't. It was a man wielding a knife and
Uh-oh.
stabbing people at the campground at Lopez Lake. 1 week after my incident with the bear.
Wow.
2 stabbing victims near Lopez Lake, hospitalized, suspect apprehended after a manhunt. Deputies spent 2 hours Saturday, and this was written on September 9th, so this is a couple weeks ago, but it was 1 week after my bear incident. And if you don't know what that is, you need to listen to that episode.
Yeah.
It's the sexiest characters in horror, JD's bear attack, and it's my last story. It's my last work. It's my legacy.
It is.
Deputies spent 2 hours combing through rugged terrain near Lopez Lake in search of an attempted murder suspect after 2 stabbing victims were hospitalized with critical but non-life-threatening injuries. When they finally found the man, Alberto Isaac Gonzalez Peneliza, 26, of Arroyo Grande, shortly before 1 p.m., he was dehydrated and delusional.
Wow.
Because he turned into a fucking werewolf. There were stab marks. There were bites. San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Dave Nottenkemper said Gonzalez Peneliza was airlifted to a nearby hospital and will be booked on 2 counts of attempted murder, held on $500,000 bail.
Did he just go crazy and try to kill someone? Or was there...
Deputies were first dispatched to the property for a reported stabbing shortly after 10 a.m.
Wow.
Stabbing people at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's when you know you like to party.
Yeah.
On arrival, deputies discovered 2 victims, one of which still had a knife sticking in her neck, according to the police scanner. Nottenkemper said both victims were hospitalized, but officials had not released identities of the victims by Saturday evening. He said the suspect was found 3/4 of a mile from the house on the property and was acting erratically. California CHP helicopter pilot assisting in the search reported that the man was holding a stick like a staff and at one point appeared to be doing martial arts.
Huh. So yeah, he went crazy.
Yes.
Huh.
County deputies were assisted in the manhunt by a helicopter which guided units on the ground in an effort to surround and capture the suspect. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, who have a stake in this, also, and the Sheriff Department of SLO also deployed an armored vehicle as part of the response.
What if he was a bear who was a were-human and just didn't know how to act like a human?
No, that's not what it was.
Yeah.
This man is the bear that attacked me.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this, okay?
Okay.
So, I get attacked by a bear. I defend my family from a 500 to 600 pound black bear. Go back. I'm not going to tell the whole story. It's going to take me 20 minutes. Listen to 2 episodes ago. If you guys are new listeners, just check it out. Or if you skipped an episode or something, it's worth a listen. It's my life's work. On that night, the bear trampled off. I didn't see anyone except for some dude by his camper afterwards.
Right.
He must have been the bear.
Right.
He's a bear,
Yeah.
much like our werewolves.
Yeah.
And I think he did this too.
Yeah. Did you bite the bear?
No,
Like, maybe
I
you
didn't
bit the
bite
bear
the
and then
bear,
it turned
but
into a human.
when I had my nunchuck scooter, I had a razor scooter swinging
Yeah.
like a nunchuck. I did see the bear grab a piece of wood and start doing martial arts. That's how I know it's the same guy.
It must be.
The martial arts bear, he turned back into his human state. He stabbed some people. They need to catch him, and I will testify in court.
Yeah.
I'll tell him what he did to me, too.
Yeah.
I hope I get a call for jury duty.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you might get a subpoena.
You know what, Judge? He's guilty. He ate my fucking green onion dip.
Yeah. It's a crime worse than stabbing people.
Yeah, it's like when you plead racist to like get off jury duty. Everyone's jokes about that.
Yeah.
Like they're going to say that. I'm just going to talk about how this bear ate my green onion dip. They're like, sir, there's no bears in this trial. It's about a man who stabbed 2 people. I'm like, he was the bear. And then
You can't handle the bear.
That's the name of this episode.
You're out of order. He's out of order. That fucking bear's out of order.
They're going to be like, sir, this is a man who stabbed 2 people. You're obviously insane, and we're committing you.
End of story. But you got off jury duty. All right. So, on September 29th, roughly a week after this episode airs, Orion Pictures will be releasing The Sound, a new horror movie starring Rose McGowan and Christopher Lloyd. McGowan plays a professional debunker who uses acoustic physics to disprove supposed haunts, who takes on a new case to investigate a supposedly haunted subway station and uncover the truth behind the haunting and a 40-year-old unexplained suicide. The trailer is very dark and atmospheric and has a subtle Silent Hill vibe to it. The movie is directed by Jenna Madison in her feature film debut, and the trailer can be viewed now at Bloody Disgusting or YouTube. Christopher Lloyd did a real good job in I'm Not a Serial Killer.
Yeah, that was good.
I
really liked it, and it was almost like, okay, don't take this the wrong way, but it was almost like a Goosebumps book.
Oh,
a
yeah.
Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, like, super gory or
Right.
anything like that, but it was like that, like, more of a PG-13 Goosebumps book of a movie, but, like, that kind of vibe. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I liked it a lot.
And Christopher Lloyd was great. I've always wanted to see Christopher Lloyd do horror. And
Yeah.
maybe this is going to be a career renaissance for him. You know, the latter end of his career, he'll be doing some horror movies.
That'd
and
be fucking awesome.
Coming up with some good stuff.
Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Great Scott. That's already some Great Scots. Wait, we already picked something else, didn't we?
Kristen Stewart Femskins.
Great Kristen Stewart's.
That's going to be my new exclamation. Great Kristen Stewart Femskins.
Oh, God, I need to compose myself. We're only 9 minutes in. I'm already losing my shit. So, this weekend, we'll see the return of New Jersey's scariest convention, Monster Mania. Director James Balsano will have boots on the ground with his latest film, The Lich. And I showed you the trailer of this movie.
I saw another trailer, too.
Yeah, it looks like one of two things. Tom Sizemore, Liana Quigley are both confirmed for this movie. It looks super low budget.
It looks like Troma low budget.
It looks like Troma low budget, but this is going to be one of two things when I see this trailer. The Lich looks like, what the fuck? The guy from, what is that movie? Bubba Hotep.
Yeah.
You know, in Bubba Hotep,
yeah.
you know how his little Egyptian creature has a top hat and stuff like that? He looks like The Undertaker.
Yeah.
But this will go one of two ways. It's going to go the way of Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Uh-huh.
Or the way of absolute bullshit shitty.
Yeah.
I think it will be one or the other. I hope it's like Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
It looks like it doesn't take itself seriously at all. I share a name with the director. We have the same... So, you know, I'm going to give him a point there. I want to see this movie.
I think, like, honestly, like, the way... Okay, here's the plot. The Lich centers on an undead zombie wizard who will stop at nothing to retrieve its powerful crystal, which was stolen by 3 witches. It sounds like a combination of Dungeons and Dragons, Bubba Hotep, and Deathgasm.
Yeah.
The way that the trailer looks and stuff like that. And Troma.
Yeah.
So I really hope that it's good. We will report back to you guys.
The long format trailer that I saw had a shitload of blood.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I will give this one a try, and we will report back.
We will, indeed.
Right. So, DC Comics will be bringing dark, gritty, violent horror back to the Batman universe with a new series called Dark Knight's Metal. Writer Scott Snyder has created...
Dark Knight's Metal?
Yeah. It sounds pretty fucking metal, too. What he's doing with it. So, writer Scott Snyder has created a nightmare world where a Batman-Joker hybrid known as the Batman Who Laughs has traveled to the multiverse and collected every potential instance of where Batman has crossed the line into villainhood and has created an army of fucked up, evil, murderous Batmen to come to the core universe and torment the one remaining good Batman. The storyline answers the question...
Is this a cartoon?
No, it's a comic book series.
Oh, okay.
This series will answer the question, what happens when Batman loses control? What happens if he goes too far? What happens if he tried to resurrect his parents from the grave? What if he sought power by any means possible? What if he wanted to challenge the power of the other DC superheroes or make himself more powerful than the most powerful villains? What if his mind snapped and he was willing to crush out all potential threats, good and evil, at any cost? What happens when the darkest hero in comic books loses his grip on reality? When the only thing Batman truly fears is himself and what he is capable of, what happens when that fear comes to life? In each issue, Batman will face a different, dark, twisted, monstrous version of himself, and the horrors that doppelganger creates. This will be an adult-oriented comic book that pulls no punches and gets to the dark, gritty heart of what Batman could become if he turned all the way to the dark side. The Batman-Joker hybrid is basically what happens if Batman kills the Joker and is so incomplete without the Joker to be the, other half of him that he becomes the Joker personality-wise. And so what he looks like is it's like a Batman suit but with a ripped-up trench coat instead of a cape, and then this smile carved into his face, and he gouged out his own eyes and replaced it with this blindfold thing. And he's got all of these other fucked up crazy Batmen on chain leashes. And it looks
like Michonne from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, the art is fantastic. What they've released so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
That's cool, but if there's so much creativity and that sounds really cool and everything, but just do something else other than Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a comic book guy. I'm not a comic book guy, but these comic book characters in this Marvel universe and DC universe and all that shit with all these movies are so overdone nowadays, and it's all a bunch of the same. It sounds like it's way different than the rest. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, whoever wrote that is not the same guy who wrote Batman, right?
No.
And if he can come up with that concept, that sounds pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
He could come up with his own shit. Just stop. There's too much X-Men, Avengers, all this shit in theaters to where I hope it will help that a little bit. To where
all
the money's going to comic.
This is just the books, though.
I know
these aren't movies, and so they got to do something new with the property.
But
so
that's a great point. But that guy who wrote that, I wish he would have wrote just something that didn't involve Batman.
Well, maybe if this is good, he'll write something else afterwards.
Yeah, or maybe he already has.
Yeah, who knows?
So, who knows? All right, is that all you got to say about the Batman?
Yeah.
I want to kill the Batman. Look at this picture.
Is that Beavis?
It's not Beavis. Maybe an elderly Beavis.
Like a real-world elderly Beavis.
Real-world, gray-haired, curly-haired, mulleted Beavis. But he's not Beavis. He is the fucking Reaper. You better respect the Reaper, Dom.
All right.
You don't want to know part of the Reaper, a.k.a. 60-year-old Oklahoma man who has been arrested for a series of disturbing rape, forcible sodomy, kidnapping, felony possession of a firearm, and now 2 other women have come forward with similar claims against the disheveled sexagenarian. They call him a sexagenarian.
Sexagenarian?
Yeah, yeah. The initial case against Hirsch came against his most recent victims, and according to the Tulsa, Oklahoma World, 22-year-old female told police that Hirsch had offered her a place to stay as she was homeless. After going back to his home, he became angry when she refused to smoke methamphetamine with him. He then beat and held her hostage for the next 2 months.
Wow.
And forced her to do meth. According to the police affidavit, he forced them to remain naked and injected them with methamphetamines every 2 to 3 days. He told her his nickname was the Reaper. And in between a variety of sexual assaults, he would beat her, burn her with cigarettes, and threaten to murder her members of her family.
Wow.
He told the victims she would end up like some of the other girls because he's done this many times before.
It's like a real-world Poughkeepsie tapes.
It's like a real-world serial killer right now. These are happening right now. This is real life. She tries to escape and showed her bottles of bleach and ammonia that he was used to dispose of other victims. Following his arrest last Thursday, Lise Egan identified him as a suspect in 3 other incidents, of which were reported between 2015 and 2017. In each case, victims reported being held against their will while Hirsch raped and sodomized them with various sexual devices and forced them to smoke or inject crystal meth. He's being held on Tulsa jail on over $425,000 bail.
Wow.
Why the fuck would they give him bail?
Yeah.
And when I said respect the Reaper, I was just trying to get you amped to hear this. But fuck this guy.
Yeah. Fuck this Beavis-looking mulleted motherfucker.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
Wow.
So, Victor Willard Hirsch, fuck you.
Yeah.
Who's gonna?
Sodomize
First of all,
him.
he doesn't have $425,000 for bail.
No.
But why would you offer bail to someone who did these things? Sure, he didn't kill somebody, but I bet he probably has.
Yeah. They just a matter of time.
They got him for 3 counts. There's probably more.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So, we all know that the upcoming Halloween movie is going to ignore everything after the events of the first movie. It's going to be a direct sequel. We know it's being written by Danny McBride.
I thought it was after Halloween 2.
No, they're doing away with Halloween 2 also. It's going to
Oh, wow. I thought it was after Halloween 2, which
yeah.
I would be like that, you know.
Yeah.
But Halloween 2 I thought was actually pretty good.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in just a second. We know it's being written by Danny McBride and directed by David Gordon Green. We know that it's going for serious, dark, brutal horror. We know that John Carpenter has approved the script and is likely being brought in to score the film. And it was just announced that Jamie Lee Curtis has signed on to play Laurie Strode in the sequel. She tweeted on October 15th, same porch, same clothes, same issues. 40 years later, heading back to Haddonfield one last time for Halloween. In this timeline, Strode is not going to be Michael Myers' sister. She will simply be the victim that got away. Danny McBride is doing this to simplify the story. He thought that her being his sister in the second movie overcomplicated things and led to all of the stupidness that came from part 3, from part 4 forward. So he wants to make it a simple cat and mouse story that can focus on horror and violence. The movie is set for a release date of October 19th, 2018. I'm looking forward to this.
That sounds pretty cool. I hope it's not going to be shitty.
Yeah.
Like, when things sound too good to be true, a lot of times they are, you know?
Right.
But then we also had the Greasy Strangler.
And we had it.
So hopefully this delivers.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a chance.
I have faith in Danny McBride as a writer and as a horror fan.
Yeah. And he's funny, too.
Yeah.
And maybe you can put a little bit of good humor in there,
Yeah.
so. All right, well, that's it for horror news. We will be back with Nostalgia Killers. We didn't even promote Nostalgia Killers.
We didn't.
We're doing top 5 werewolves. Before that, we got Nostalgia Killers,
Yeah.
where we're going to see 2 movies from our childhood. Movie number 1, with the theme of the list, An American Werewolf in London. And number 2, Wishmaster. Wishmaster! It sounds like a metal band.
It does. It sounds like a metal band with a really high singer.
It sounds like a metal band that needs to happen.
We are the Knights!
That's the first the first album by Wishmaster.
We are the Night.
We are the Night.
Yeah.
Oh, we are the Night. Wishmasters. It's like the Fishmasters theme, but it's
Wishmaster! That needs to be redone.
It does.
Yeah.
I think we can make that happen.
Yeah.
If we have the time to record Wishmasters, I think it'll be the end song. All right, we'll be back with Nostalgia Killers and the top 5 werewolves after this.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Post Mortem podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Post Mortem podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money. We get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
Nostalgia Killers.
You know what that sounds mean. Wait. Restart. You know what that sound means,
Brother!
Nostalgia Killers.
It does. It's exactly what that means. It's what it says.
We're going with a movie that was made before I was born. You were born.
Year after I was born, yeah.
A year after you were born, but I wasn't born at all.
Yeah.
And a movie I saw in theaters when I was 11 years old.
Wow. Yeah, I
For
think
this
I saw it in theaters too. Yeah. So
What were you, like?
17.
62? Oh, 17.
62. I was actually working in a theater when it came out, so I got to see it for free.
That's awesome. So, but we're going to start off with the older of the two. 1981, written and directed by John Landis, starring David Hodden, Griffin Dunne, and Jenny Agutter.
A gutter.
Is that
Slut.
how you pronounce it? Jenny Agutter Slut. We're talking about An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have seen it. This segment, so if you're new to the show, Nostalgia Killers is when we rate movies we saw when we were a kid and see how they hold up now. Review them, and we can either cut one and keep one, we can cut them both, or we can keep them both.
I don't think we've ever cut them both before. We've kept them both before.
We've kept them both. We've cut one and kept one,
Yeah.
but we've never cut them both before, which is a good thing because like these are movies from our childhood.
Yeah.
And I would assume they have to hold up.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
sometimes
so-
they don't.
Sometimes they don't, and that is true. So, two American friends, David and Jack, are taking a walking holiday through northern England and are attacked by a werewolf. Jack is ripped to shreds, and David survives, but is badly scarred. David wakes up a week later in a hospital in London and is upset to hear of his friend's passing. He begins to have nightmares and visions of running wild through the woods. He becomes very close to one of the nurses, if you know what I mean, Alex. And when discharged, he stays with her in
There was some
flat
discharge.
in London. He begins to get a visit from his dead friend Jack, who warns him that he will become a werewolf at the next full moon and must take his own life. Thinking he's crazy, he ignores all of Jack's warnings. Sure enough, he transforms when the moon is full and goes on a murderous rampage through London.
He does. In a porno theater.
In a porno theater. Yeah. You know what? This was better than I remembered it. You know what I remembered most about this? I remembered them in a mist and a bunch of England people. England people, the England people. those bunch
Englanders,
of old British people in a bar being extremely boring.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning and stuff, and it is. But then I remember the transformation scene.
Yeah,
and that's the milquetoast of the movie.
Yeah, that's the meat of it, the meat and potatoes.
It's the veggie meat and potatoes of this entire movie.
I didn't remember the movie being as funny as it was.
Me neither.
Yeah,
and you know what? I'm ashamed to admit it, but I remember An American Werewolf in Paris more than London before this, and I like An American Werewolf in Paris more now that I remember in my brain, like rapid recall.
Yeah,
the London version.
Yeah,
because the
makes things make more sense.
Everything makes way more sense. It's both nurses and the whole. It's the same movie.
Yeah,
it's like a remake,
just in
almost.
France.
Yeah, But this was fucking good. So we're going to break this down. When we do Nostalgia Killers, we always break it down to 4 categories. We have acting and characters, story and writing, special effects and production, and entertainment.
Yeah.
And we start off first with acting and characters. So, Dom, what is your acting and characters?
I give it a 3 out of 5. Almost all of the actors were great, but some of the people in the beginning were a little bit dull, and I did not like the nurse character.
Okay.
I thought that her motivations didn't make sense, and I thought that the actress who played her was just sort of boring and unconvincing with her emotional range.
She showed her boobs, and I appreciate that, but the thing that sucks about it is, like, how can the nurse start fucking the crazy guy who's a patient? Like, that's definitely a violation.
Yeah.
That's almost like a sexual assault if you think about it. Like,
maybe
doctor-patient.
Yeah, maybe they don't have that in England.
Wildly inappropriate. And it happens when he's like, I'm a werewolf, and he kisses her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, come stay at my fucking studio.
Yeah.
But she doesn't sound like that. She's like, governor.
Governor. Come stay in my studio. My flat, governor. Be my flatmate.
Yeah, that's basically what she does.
But Jack and David were fucking awesome.
I agree. You know, the locals in the bar are fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie, and when I started watching it in the beginning, I'm like, man, I thought this was way more entertaining. Because the beginning is not.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
So they drop conversation when one of the main characters asks them about a wolf in a picture in a fucking trope. Like, they'll, like, almost like where the music stops and you hear,
yeah, the record scratches.
And then you hear everyone at the bar just looking at them and talking about them and stuff.
Get a rope.
It's fucking ridiculous, you know. That it's pretty bad. So most of the actors are very drab at the beginning, but it's almost expected with the British at this time period of movie, 1981.
Yeah.
A lot of the British movies, even the horror movies and stuff like that, the acting is very flat.
And John Landis is no fool. You know, it's very possible that he did that to show the difference between the American personalities and the British personalities.
But it's only that bar.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is everyone else, once you get out of that bar in England,
Yeah.
is reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, just that bar, those bar patrons, that almost took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, when I thought about it later on, it's like, well, they're like, you can't let him leave. Oh, no, we gotta kick him out. You know,
we gotta kick him out, but we can't let him leave. But we can't kick him out. You know, one of those bar patrons, though, was Rick Mail from The Young Ones and Drop Dead Fred. And,
really?
Yeah, and I didn't know that or recognize him as that until I saw this again. And again, he's no fool. He's a very, like, even though he's known for his stupid comedy, he's a very learned, studied actor. So I think if they were playing it that way, it was probably done on purpose. It just wasn't the wisest decision.
Yeah. David's pretty good. Jack, when he's dead, is very entertaining.
Yeah.
But the guy from the American Embassy is so fucking bad. And
That's
way
Frank
over
Oz.
the top. He's so fucking horrible in this
it's
movie.
weird. That's Yoda and fucking, like, Kermit the Frog and... You know,
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's weird that I mean he's a great voice actor, but he was definitely not a screen actor.
Yeah, it was apparent he was a cartoon.
Yeah.
You know? What about story and writing?
I give that a 4.
Oh wait, I never told you. I give the acting and characters a 3 as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah, story and writing I give a 4. It's still an original story.
to me, it's a classic story. Nothing complex or groundbreaking.
That's the thing. It's got all of the tropes and it's got all of the things, but it doesn't really focus on, like, am I a werewolf? Am I not a werewolf? It's just a build to what it is.
Yeah.
To the final scene.
That's what I really appreciate. It was
Yeah.
an escalation.
Yeah.
You were watching an escalation. It was never like, oh, back and forth,
Yeah.
that kind of drama. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was
and-
told to you. You knew what was going to happen,
Yeah.
and you watched it happen. That's the entire movie, and I really respect that.
And like a porno, like a good porn, it built to the money shot. You know, they didn't waste time with all this back and forth. It was just boom, 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 payoff.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something I really fucking appreciated. And I give it 3.5 out of 5.
Special effects and production. I gave this motherfucker a 5.
I give it a 5 as well. The wolf looks good, especially for the time.
Yeah, it really
and
holds up.
what I really respect about it is that the wolf is always hiding in shadows, and it's all practical effects.
Yeah.
The violence is also swift and brutal.
Yeah.
It's all practical effects.
The transformation scene is fantastic.
For sure. These effects give modern day no fucking excuses.
Yeah. And also, Frank's decomposition throughout the movie.
Throughout the movie,
Yeah.
too. I really appreciated that, too, because he was more rotting. And
Yeah.
he's a ghost,
Yeah.
kinda.
But he's still
rotting
rotting.
ghost. He's still rotting over
like,
time like a body would.
Yeah.
Like, his body is the same
It's a
as his
reflection,
ghost.
yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was really well done. Again, it gives no modern day CGI excuses, and transformation scene is iconic, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
Transformation scene is so good that I can forgive his dream sequence when he attacks the deer. That was fucking horrible.
I laughed.
Yeah, that was horrible. And also the Nazi werewolves, you laugh, but
Yeah.
I can forgive that. I like that.
Yeah.
But I give it a 5 as well. So,
Yeah.
Entertainment.
My overall enjoyment of this movie was a 4.
Okay.
It has its flaws. It's not perfect, but when it's on, it's fucking on.
That's very true. Opening is very slow until the wolf attack, and then it takes a while to get going, but it does deliver. The Nazi machine gunner werewolf dream sequence was super silly, but fucking great.
Yeah. And also, I like the fact that when it ends, it literally just ends. Like, it gets to the point, and boom.
And then,
Yeah.
you didn't think it would be the end. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Yeah.
You know? And the soundtrack was amazing, too,
Yeah.
with the Bad Moon Rising. All the songs about moon
Yeah.
or night.
I was
you know,
watching it with Michelle,
classics.
and she's like, "Are all these songs about the moon?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. It's fucking
Yeah,
awesome. And
it's
there's
awesome.
songs you know and
Yeah.
that everyone knows, you know?
And they're not even necessarily songs about werewolves. You
No,
know, like
not
Blue
at
Moon
all.
has nothing to do with werewolves, but
Yeah.
it's about the moon.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And you get some boobs.
Yeah.
You know, you get some nudity,
Yeah.
you get some violence, you get decapitated heads,
Yeah.
you get fucking rotting corpses. I gave my entertainment a 4.25 out of 5. IMDb gives this movie 7.6. I would give it rounded 3.9 out of 5, or equivalent 7.8 out of 10. So
Yep.
a little higher than IMDb, not much, but I did like it a lot.
Yeah. I gave it 4 out of 5 was my final average, so that makes it 8 out of 10 Kristen Stewart femskins.
I forgot. I forgot about the rating system.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart femskins, and I'm giving it a whole 4 out of 5.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's we'll go with 8 out of 10 on that, and I think this movie definitely holds up. It's one for the ages. It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, and it I forgot to say this, but both of these movies I watched on VHS. I have the actual VHS
Oh, wow.
tapes, and I had a working VCR, and I watched these 2 movies that we're going to review from my youth on VHS
Nice.
tape. On the exact tape that I had when I first saw it, too.
Wow.
So it's like the same exact
Holds
tape.
up.
It's all fucking modeled, and
Yeah.
it's
like when you actually
seen
watched
its
it on
days.
DV or VHS the first time.
Yeah.
American Werewolf in London is streaming on Netflix if you have it. If
No,
you've
it's not.
That's where I watched it.
I know it is, but guess what? Remember, I had to watch it today.
Oh, they took it off.
They took it off, and I had to dig up my VHS tape of American Werewolf in London, hook
Really?
up my VCR, and watch it. But I'm glad I did. You know why? Because I also had Wishmaster on VHS.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what, Nostalgia Killers? This is a new thing. If I have the VHS, I'm watching this bitch on VHS.
Yeah.
I'm watching on the tape I've owned for fucking 20 years.
Did
or
you hook it
whatever.
up to the big projector to watch
No,
it?
I watched it in my bed with 2 fans blowing on me in my underwear.
Okay.
Sprawled the fuck
So how you
out.
are right now?
Pretty much. Although not in my bed and not sprawled out, and with no fans, but also in my underwear.
Yes.
So, as I just said, our second movie, 1997, directed by Robert Kurtzman, who's went on to many, many fine things.
Oh, yeah.
As you know, Walking Dead. Starring Andrew Divoff, Tammy Lauren, with appearances by Robert Englund, Tony Todd, Kane Hodder, Reggie Bannister, Buck Flower, Ted Raimi, and narration by Angus Scrimm.
Yeah. That's a who's
is
who.
Fucking who's who of horror. Wishmaster. So, in the beginning of times, God created light into the universe. Light gave birth to angels, earth to man, but fire to the jinn. Creatures condemned to dwell the void between worlds. One who wakes a jinn shall be granted 3 wishes. Upon granting the third, an unholy legion of jinns are freed through the doorway between the worlds upon the earth. In 1127 AD in Persia, a sorcerer lures and traps a powerful jinn in the stone of a secret fire. In the present days, a drunken crane operator drops the valuable statue of Ahura Mazda over the assistant of Raymond Beaumont on the harbor. And one worker finds a huge and priceless opal red stone where the jinn is seized. Alexander Amberson, who works in an auction house, receives the stone for evaluation and accidentally awakens the jinn. The evil creature is released later, charges the stone with people's souls, feeds on their fears while chasing Alexander to force to make 3 wishes and unleash the demoniac fiends upon the earth.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. When this movie came out, I didn't like it.
Really?
I went for years not liking Wishmaster, thinking it was just cheesy and stupid, and you know, I think it was because when I was 17 years old, I wanted serious horror. But when I went back and I watched Wishmaster, I binge-watched the entire Wishmaster series on HBO Go. And
the only good one is the first one, though.
I liked the
2 was okay, but the rest
after
are
that, when they removed Andrew Divoff and had the other guy, it was just, And going back and now being able to appreciate it for what it is and seeing, like, the wink and nudge of humor that's in it, too.
Yeah.
I liked it much more.
I fucking love this movie. I have to say, I love The Wishmaster. I saw it in theater when I was 11 years old. R-rated movie, 11 years old. My dad dropped me and my friends off, signed us in. We watched the fucking Wishmaster. Both movies I reviewed for Nostalgia Killers, like I said, were on VHS to get the feel that I had back in childhood, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
So, in this movie, acting and characters.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. Going back to what I said about that I didn't like it originally, I thought that the Wishmaster was just like a cheesy, hokey character. But going back and watching it now,
at all.
He's not. He's approximating human emotions.
If I can remember to insert my Wishmaster picture I drew, do you see that?
Yeah. I saw your.
Pretty sweet, right?
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
Yeah. It was good. But going back and watching it now, and especially watching the later Wishmaster movies when a different actor was playing the Jinn and it wasn't Andrew Divoff,
you can't fucking appreciate it.
Yeah, you know, it's and especially when the Jinn is in the human form, you know, and it's Andrew Divoff just playing, you know, without the makeup. What I initially interpreted as cheesy, now I realize was him playing a demon approximating human feelings.
Yeah, because that's the thing about his acting.
Yeah.
He's fucking way over the top in the human role.
Yeah.
And the way he talks to people and stuff like that, because he doesn't know how to fucking talk to people.
Yeah.
Because he's not a fucking human.
Yeah.
He's a demon.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that I understood that as a kid. Even my friends who were like, that was okay.
Yeah.
And try to act like they weren't scared, but they were because we were 11 years old. But I appreciate it on a deeper level.
Yeah.
I still do. Because...
Yeah, I didn't get it, but now going back and watching it as an adult, I see the nuances in the performance.
Yeah.
And it was great. Some of the other characters weren't so great.
If you look at it like just the fact that, like, if I wasn't human, all of a sudden I had a human skin and I had to talk to people and act like I was human,
right?
I would be...
Right. If you
like
were
fucking Coneheads.
If you were a bear,
Dan Aykroyd, Beldar, and Coneheads.
Yeah. If you were a bear and you suddenly had a human skin, you'd be doing martial arts with a stick out.
Don't bring bears into this, okay? Don't you fucking bring the bears into this. I'm embarrassed.
Wishmaster bear.
No. Don't you bring Wishmaster into this. I'm not saying it's Reanimator. It's not on that level. I'm not saying that, but I fucking love Wishmaster.
Yeah.
And we're rewatching it back. I'm gonna get a fucking Wishmaster tattoo.
Nice.
That thing I drew. I'm gonna get that tattooed on me. I fucking love this movie. Yeah. And Andrew Divoff is way over the top as Nathan Demarest, but he's amazing as the Jinn.
Yeah.
You thought
he's
the
amazing both
way.
ways.
I know, but as the Jinn,
yeah.
he's an iconic horror movie character that we fucking needed, and he never got the legs he deserved.
Yeah.
So I can forgive his human form because he's a demon in a human skin, like we said. Yeah. He doesn't know how to act totally as a human. Tammy Lauren is very sympathetic as Alex. Does a pretty decent job. There's a couple times where her acting kind of shits the bed.
Yeah.
Couple little scenes, but it's not enough to make me fucking not care about the movie. The bit part guys really fucking shine in this movie. Freddy, Jason, Candyman, all in one movie. Although they're all icons, they rein it back a little bit to let the new icons shine. That's what I really appreciated. He had all the fucking names of horror and they reined it back. They were little tiny parts.
Yeah.
They didn't steal the movie because it was the fucking Wishmaster's time to do the movie, you know? Also, I really like the fucking Jack the Ripper character who jumped from the painting. And I really wish he got his own movie. That was my favorite thing. His big teeth and his fucking lower baggy eyes. It's like London After Midnight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can never see London After Midnight. There's no surviving print. You know? You can only
Just
see
the
still
one
images.
image, yeah.
But it was like that. They based it off of that. And that was another horror throwback. Yeah. Also, every person's name in this movie, their last name, is a horror author.
Really?
All the doctors, all the people that are like... Anyone in this movie, besides like the bums and the pharmacists and stuff like that, are horror authors from turn of the century and shit.
Huh. So this is a horror fan's horror movie.
It is. Yeah. It really is. So, and I really appreciate that. So I gave the acting characters a 4. Although there are some mistakes with some of the casting of the main characters, with that star-studded cast and with Andrew Divoff himself, I can't give it less than a 4. Yeah. So. Story and writing.
I gave it a 4. Okay. It's a very original story. There's nothing else out there quite like Wishmaster. Again, like some of the writing that threw me off was some of the stunted dialogue. That was where I marked it down from a 5. But in terms of,
you mean like the one-liners?
Yeah, like the way some of the lines were written, it just kind of felt unnatural. But the story itself is original. And it carries itself all the way through, and it's another movie where it goes way out there, but it's consistent with its own rules. Yeah, and that shows good writing,
for sure. And I really like the ending.
Yeah,
I really like. We're not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen this movie from 1996.
What the fuck are you doing with your life? Call yourself
the ending,
a horror
just
fan?
That last shot, from the jewel to seeing into the jewel afterwards to seeing him back on the chair, like, you know,
defeated,
but he's still there.
Yeah,
and you know it's going to come. I wish this franchise would have got what it deserved. You know,
this might be one that would be deserving of like a good reboot.
I would totally support a Wishmaster reboot
with Andrew Divoff.
Even if it wasn't Andrew Divoff, if it was someone like, you know, say what you will, but Tim Curry, Bill Skarsgård, you can't fucking deny that he did a good job.
Oh yeah,
know?
absolutely, absolutely.
Same with like if Reanimator got remade. I would be super fucking judgmental, right?
Yeah.
Remember that movie that was going to call itself Reanimator 4 or something, you know? And thankfully it never came out. But
the Otter Pop Reanimator.
Yeah. You know, I would have been super judgmental, but, you know, if we can get a Bill Skarsgård level actor to reprise the role that Andrew Divoff did and make this fucker go and do sequels that had nothing to do with the fucking Angels and the bullshit sequels that it had. The sequels are not, you know, I'll still watch them. You know, because I watched this movie in theaters when I was 11, so I fucking love it. But
Harvey Fierstein as the Djinn. I'll grant you a wish, David.
Oh, God. All right, story writing, I gave it a 4.5. There's a good backstory for Alex and her sister with the fire and stuff. The Djinn and characters like Beaumont are really fleshed out like real people. So is the guy who owns the business she works for. Yeah. Examining the jewels. Yeah. Like, I can imagine that guy going to McDonald's. Yeah. I can imagine that guy
taking a
doing
shit.
His laundry. Yeah, like, he's that fleshed out. So I gave it a 4.5. I like the writing on this movie.
Special effects and production?
Oh, yeah.
I gave it a 3.
A 3?
The Djinn is fantastic.
He is.
Some of the other stuff after that got a little bit silly. Like Kane Hodder in the window.
Okay, that was bad. That was Lord of Illusions bad.
Yeah.
It's around it's the same year.
Yeah.
That was new technology. I gave special effects and production a 5. And I know that there's some questionable effects in this movie, but you do not need CGI. If you watch Wishmaster, the practical effects that are in this movie, they used some CGI and it was questionable and not that great. Yeah. But the practical effects they did, you can't fucking hold a candle to that in 2017. Yeah. This is a movie that came out in 1996.
The practical effects are great. The CG is terrible, and that's what offset it.
Yeah, I would say like, okay, you can't beat the practical effects of the opening party scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
That was a great scene, and also with the text. Open. The text kind of like Star Wars, but horror about the opening text with Angus Scrimm, the tall man, reading it. Fear one thing, fear the Djinn. with the fire and shit. That was fucking awesome. Already when I saw it, I felt like I was 11 years old again. You know, some movies, they get you. You know, when they get you and you return back to that time.
Every time I watch Evil Dead.
For me. This movie has a huge budget, $5 million. Yeah. It was not a failure either. And they made, in the box office, over $15 million.
Wow, they
not counting, not counting DVD, VHS, any of that shit. So it's definitely, it was a success. That's why it spawned so many remakes. But all the remakes were direct-to-video shithead fucking movies, you know? And they used a little CGI, like you said. There's some questionable demon dog puppet.
Yeah. I laughed at it.
Okay, so, like, let's think about what was bad in CGI. Yes, the folding, Kane Hodder was bad in CGI.
Yeah.
But the things that were good in CGI were just the wobbling of the walls to, like, transport her to the demon dimension versus the regular dimension. That was actually good.
It was decent.
It was not badly done, you know. There was some good CGI, but it just goes to show, like you said, like, you don't need a lot of CGI. So. Yeah. The Djinn himself looked pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a great costume, especially like when like the tendrils were coming out of him, and all the the weird modifications that happened to it. All that.
You notice that he looked different, and you know that when he first crawled out, when he first came out of the stone and stuff, you know who he was played by? Vern Troyer.
Really?
Yes, Mini-Me. In that scene before Austin Powers.
Ginny-Me.
It's the only thing, and he was just like a bit part player.
Yeah.
They needed a smaller guy because he's getting bigger and bigger, when he first comes out of the fucking jewel. Vern Troyer. It's fucking crazy, The thing that pisses me off is that douchebag fuck himself, Victor Salva, stole parts of the design of the Djinn, and it's got to be the Creeper in Jeepers Creepers. He stole a lot of that concept of that character. The formations of the face and stuff, it's an obvious ripoff. The score is amazing in Wishmaster.
Yeah.
It's classical, reminiscent of Hellraiser and Candyman, which, if you listen to our top 5 horror themes episode, that was my favorite horror themes, is that classical strings and shit. It's like
very, very classy, very, classic horror,
Yeah. Entertainment.
5.
You gave it a 5.
I gave the entertainment a 5.
That's the only thing I've rated lower than you. I gave it a 4.5.
I gave it a 5 because I liked it much more than when I originally watched it.
It just doesn't get its due.
Yeah.
It doesn't get its due. The Djinn is an iconic horror movie character.
Yeah.
If they would have went with this the right way for sequels, it would be on par with Freddy and Jason, honestly.
Or just didn't make sequels.
Yeah. Or just didn't make sequels, but I think it had legs. You can do a million sequels to this movie and make them all make sense.
Yeah.
So... The party scene with the statues and paintings coming alive in the beginning are so fucking great. There's awesome one-liners in this movie. The bum Buck Flower, iconic bum. He always plays a bum. He's in They Live also. Buck Flower calls Reggie Bannister a discombobulated afterbirth from a Chinese gangbang. Discombobulated afterbirth from a Chinese gangbang.
That's some shit a homeless schizophrenic guy would say.
That's pretty fucking awesome. Eventually, when we do our top 5 most underrated horror movies, this would be a candidate for me.
For sure.
This might make my list of top 5. So I fucking love Wishmaster. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will be getting the Djinn tattooed on me. IMDb gives it a 5.7. My average is a 4.5 out of 5 or a 9 out of 10.
My average was 3.75 out of 5, but I'm going to bump it up. Again, because I liked it more than I initially watched it. And I'm going to go with your 4.5 out of 5 or 9 out of 10 Kristen Stewart Femskins.
Right when you slip into it, it doesn't change its facial expression because she can't act.
No, she acts with her teeth.
She did do like nudity and threesome scenes and stuff recently.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that because, I mean, it's probably just be like looking at a broomstick.
She's got a solid... What's the letter before A?
Broomstick.
Yeah,
right.
that is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't mean to boob shame you, Kristen Stewart. I apologize, but Donald, wear your femskin proudly.
Yeah, I will.
You keep his mouth open.
The only problem is I have to tie my tits down to wear the femskin.
You know what? Fuck that. I can't talk shit because we both have bigger boobs than Kristen.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. Yeah. Gynomastica.
Yes, I eat a lot of soy products. And we'll be back with our top 5 werewolves. Varvilf. Top 5 werewolves after this. Hey guys, we might be switching hosting services soon.
They took our hose.
They took our fucking hose.
Charlize Theron took our hose.
So only time will tell. But this little commercial here, SoundCloud might be going bankrupt. If it is, we're going to be switching over to a little service called Libsyn. So if we disappear from your feeds, if we're coming to you every week, we want to keep all of our subscribers. When we switch over, make sure you're following us on our website, postmortemshow.com, Facebook, everything like that. So if you don't get an episode one day soon in your feed, it's not that we're late. It's not that we're unreliable, because we're reliable.
Yeah, we're like 70-something episodes deep.
77. We're like clockwork.
Yeah.
We love to be a part of your Wednesday.
Yeah, we are your Wednesday. We are your Wednesday.
With our pigtails and everything. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Facebook. And if you can't find the new feed when it does happen, go ahead and send us an email, postmortemshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll tell you where to go. And you can always see us on YouTube.
Some people do.
Some people do.
But
there's this one chick that listens to us on YouTube.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We'll be coming out now with our new feed. Hope you guys cross over to the dark territory.
Post Mortem style.
Hey, we're back! Ow! Oh! Where Biffs of London.
Werebiffs of Santa Maria.
Werebiffs of Santa Maria. What would a werebiff be, actually?
Like, you turn into a werewolf, but you're retarded and have a huge dick.
I think we talked about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we talked about this in the beginning.
You have eyes that are going different directions.
Yeah. You'd basically be like a retarded Shawn Michaels werewolf.
Yeah, that's Biff. That's Biff. My sweet little dog. And now that he has no balls, he's actually a lot better.
Yeah.
He's actually improved his behavior,
Yeah, we were ragging on him the whole time. We just didn't know he had balls.
Yeah, they were very tiny.
Yeah.
Covered in hair, but he got the job done.
Yeah, he did.
He's a fertile myrtle. But we're not going with the werebiffs. We're going with the top 5 werewolves in horror movies.
Yeah.
You want to start us off this time?
Sure. My number 5 is from a little movie called Curse of the Queer Wolf. And it is The Queer Wolf. Not only does he turn into a werewolf by the moonlight, he turns into a gay werewolf.
Yeah.
Mark Pirro made this movie. It was actually a sequel to a movie that he made called A Polish Vampire in Burbank, where the queer wolf also makes an appearance. And yeah, it's just a great movie for a great metaphor for repressed homosexuality and denial of your own impulses.
And
it's funny as fuck.
The moon can make you do some strange things.
It's true. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a butt sex.
My number 5 is the Wolfman from Monster Squad. Yeah. Wolfman has nards.
Fuck, why didn't I think of him?
He has nards.
He does.
He gets kicked in the nards. Whoa. Wolfman has nards.
Yeah.
Iconic saying.
Yeah.
It was on my honorable mention for the quotes. Top 5 quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Wolfman from the Monster Squad. He does have some nards.
He does. Kind of humanizes him a little bit,
It does. Kind of, we've all been hitting the balls. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have balls. You know what I mean.
Yeah, Yeah, you can picture where the Wolfman maybe now going to McDonald's or taking a shit.
It's either like you got hit in the balls or kicked in the fallopian tube. You understand what I mean?
Punted in the labe.
That's a good band name, Laid Punters.
Labe punt. with an umlaut over the A.
That's our new band.
Yeah,
that's
right
it.
there. My number 4, very underrated little movie. Not a lot of people talk about it. I don't know that we've ever actually discussed it on this show, but the character Will Randall, as portrayed by Jack Nicholson in the movie Wolf.
Yeah, I don't really like that movie, but he's Jack Nicholson, so he's good. Mm. But the movie itself, like, I need a little bit more,
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, it is.
And it doesn't pay off like American Werewolf in London pays off. But it's the same concept that they tell you what's going to happen, they build up to it, it happens, and it's done.
I like my werewolves to be like Magic the Gathering werewolves.
Yeah.
Where they're unpredictable, they transform, they can't even control themselves.
They get angry and frenzy on things and hump legs.
They don't choose what they have to do. They just have to do it. When the moon rises, you can't control yourself.
Where Biff loses control and has to put his chin on everyone's knee.
You should have seen when I was gone for 3 days. When I came back, he was doing the full arch.
Really?
Basically doing like a bridge, like he's giving someone a German suplex. That's how he was up to me when I told him to go. You know, I used to push him away, and then he'd like face the other way and arch back his head to where he's looking at me still. You know?
Yeah.
And just be right there like...
He was just trying to German suplex you and couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, he's fucking Biff. So, but when I came back, he was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He missed you.
He missed me, yeah. It's a strange thing for a dog that has no intellect. Like, seriously, like on an IQ level, he's like a -2.
He's like a meatloaf.
Yeah, like he's like a street sign. He's like a street sign.
A cinder block with a chip in it.
All right, where are we at? You're number 4?
Yeah, no, you're number 4.
My number 4. So, what we do in shadows? What we do in the shadows?
We're not werewolves. We're not swearwolves.
Yeah, Anton Reese Darby. What a good performance. He actually made that movie for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to their spinoff. They're getting a spinoff show.
Really?
That follows the werewolves.
Yeah, and you know what? He actually was in the last season of X-Files.
Really?
Remember Mulder and Scully meet the lizard or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name of the episode. It's something like that. But he's like a monster. Mulder and Scully meet the monster. But he was like, you know those lizards that like spit the blood out of their eyes and shit? He was that. But he turned into a human with the moon was up.
Right.
So it was like opposite werewolf.
Yeah.
You know? He was bit by a human.
Yeah.
He was like a werewolf.
Like the bear that turned into a crazy guy.
Pretty much, yeah. Fuck that guy. Fuck that bear. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know,
He's in jail now.
I'm a vegetarian. I'm an animal activist, but that man's skin, if I kill him, if I can break him out of jail, if I come in, dig a tunnel, Andersonville style.
Do a big old prison break.
Yeah.
Hide the tunnel behind a poster of Rita Hayworth.
Into his fucking cell. I smuggle him out. I'm his friend.
Yeah.
I tell him. I kill him. I make a human skin rug. Because when he's dead, maybe on the full moon it'll turn to a bear skin rug.
Cool.
If you think if you killed a werewolf when it was in human state, would it ever turn back to a werewolf? Because like in American Werewolf in London, like they die
and he turns
back to a human and never turn back.
Right.
So what if I killed him? You think if the moon came out, he'd get all hairy?
Probably. Yeah.
So it's like one of those.
Well, if he was a bear first and turned into a human and you killed him, he turned back into a bear.
It's like one of those miraculous '90s foil blankets that are like cold on one side and hot on the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it would be.
All right.
That's my number 4. That blanket, not the werewolf.
My number 3, the Dog Soldiers from Dog Soldiers.
Yeah. Underrated.
Yeah.
It's one of the only movies to me that's underrated and overrated.
Really?
Yeah, I think that like it gets, you know, because it's one of the best werewolf movies of all time, but it's not a great fucking movie, you know? So
I really enjoy it. I like it a lot, and I like that the werewolves, like, they have, like, they're not just dogs, and they're not just humans. They're this weird kind of in-between thing with the elongated torsos but the human arms. They look weird and, like, ethereal. You know,
Yeah.
like looking at them too long would drive you insane.
Yeah.
And you know, when I first saw it, I thought it was a cheesy effect. But when I go back and
I
watch
like
it
that
now,
effect on the werewolf,
Yeah.
too, where they're, like, bigger in the shoulders and,
Yeah.
and the back, like
Yeah.
humpback, and tiny legs,
Yeah.
and long arms and shit. That's what I imagine a werewolf would actually
Yeah.
be like. So
Something-
that's what a wolf is like. A wolf isn't a big old fucking burly thing.
Right.
You know, like, I just saw a coyote today, actually, when I
Mm-hmm.
was going, and I was thinking about, like, that's like, my dog, Boomer could fucking kill this coyote right now. Like, if it came down to it, if it was a fight,
Yeah.
that coyote would stand no chance between my fucking dog.
Yeah. Your old dog.
My old dog.
Yeah.
But seriously, I think I'd step in, break it up, and
Buy him beers.
We do a
Calm the fuck
spike.
down.
No, we do a spike pile driver on the coyote. But yeah, like the Union family, spike pile driver.
Yeah.
My dog will jump off the chop rope. My old ass dog. Yeah, right. He couldn't even fucking
Get on the couch.
Poor Boomer. He's gonna die soon.
Yeah. It's going to be a sad day. Biff will have to be the man of the house.
No, he won't. Never.
Bailey will be the man of the house.
I'll let David be the man of the house.
Whoa.
All right, number 3. My number 3, right?
Yeah.
Richie's Werewolf from It, the original miniseries of It. One of the best parts is Richie's Werewolf.
Yeah.
You know, he saw the movie I Was a Teenage Werewolf.
And it scared him?
And it scared him, and the werewolf stalked him. In the new It, 2017, you only get a couple scenes, but you see the clown's sleeve.
Yeah.
You know? and it turns into a werewolf claw when it's coming after Richie.
Pays a little
And
tribute
then
to it.
and then later when it starts changing into, I hope I'm not spoiling anything for you guys. You must have seen it by now. If you're a horror fan, it's fucking September 18th at the time of this recording. So I'm guarantee you've seen the movie. If not, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
So, and then later when it comes at them, it turns into everyone's fears, and there's a wolf glimpse there too.
Yeah. A little bit of a tribute, and there was a little bit of a spider glimpse in there too.
Yeah.
There was one spider leg for a second.
Yeah, and the fact that the people that were floating were up. It didn't. There was no spider web, but the way they were floating was like they were caught in the spider web. Did you catch that?
Yeah, and they were kind of like a carousel too.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Richie was scared of clowns in this version.
Yeah.
They didn't have him scared of werewolves.
But they still had the little bit of werewolf. Yeah. So, but the original version of Richie's werewolf was amazing.
Yeah.
So,
good effect.
Yeah, good effect.
Number 2. Mine comes straight out of our nostalgia killers. David from American Werewolf in London. Specifically for the transformation.
Okay.
That is the definitive on-screen werewolf transformation.
Yeah, it is very good, and I don't have him on my honorable mentions, but I do have the Nazi machine gun wolfman from American Werewolf. That was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Terrible and awesome.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Terribly awesome.
Yeah. You know what?
I want that
when I was watching that, I'm like, am I watching House?
Yeah.
It reminded me of House.
Yeah.
Gave me that same vibe.
Right.
So, and that's fucking awesome to me. So, my number 2, Ginger from Ginger Snaps. Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine Isabel and Ginger Snaps. What a great character.
Yeah.
That whole movie, the dialogue, it's so well written. Even the little fucker that tries to fuck her and stuff,
I need to go back and watch that again. I wrote that movie off when it first came out because I thought it was just going to be another stupid teen horror,
Oh, it's not at all.
And I didn't see it until 2 or 3 years ago.
They take pictures of each other dead. The
Yeah.
sisters, they're total fucking horror
freaks.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, and about their period, they don't get their period, blah, 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 and then she gets bit, she gets her period, and she's on a fucking hunt.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great movie.
Very well done.
The sequels, not so much.
No.
Especially the one that's back in time.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Jumping sharks, that's what they're doing.
That's fucking jumping laser sharks.
Number 1.
Numero uno.
My number 1 can only possibly be the one and only Lou Garou Wolf Cop.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Wolf Cop is the number 1 werewolf.
He's
taking a piss in a bar and his
Yeah.
dick explodes into a werewolf dick. That's one of the scenes, one of the most modern, not gore. It's not really gore, but memorable effect scenes. That's a great effect.
Yeah.
That was good, And it wasn't CGI.
Yeah.
It was practical, and it was fucking awesome.
And the whole movie is just great because
Because an alcoholic werewolf cop.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It seems like if you're drunk and you're I'm gonna make a movie about alcoholic werewolf cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like your acid trip.
Yeah.
Coming into a full fucking movie.
And a great movie.
And it works.
Yeah, it works.
It fucking delivers.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Wolf Cop 2.
Soon. It's coming soon.
It's coming too. It's coming soon, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's it's just one of those perfect storm movies. It's just the werewolf genre is ridiculous in and of itself. Just the concept of a werewolf. Werewolves were a lot scarier in times when there were legends of werewolves, when people didn't have electricity and shit like that. That the concept of a man becoming a beast and all that. It's silly now.
Yeah.
So when you approach it, you have to approach it like it's fucking silly. Or you have to do something innovative with it, like Dog Soldiers or The Howling did. The Howling, those movies got way off track.
Yeah.
Later down the line. But,
first couple are pretty good.
Yeah, but...
The first one's good, and then there's one that, I can't remember what it is. It's 3 or 4. One of them is really good way down the line.
Uh-huh.
And there's a bunch of shit in between, and there's a bunch of shit after.
Yeah. But yeah, Wolf Cop was just... They didn't take themselves seriously, yet they made a serious movie.
Yeah.
That was entertaining. Yeah, and Bubba the Redneck Werewolf to some extent was like that also.
Yeah, that should have made my honorable mentions.
I didn't have honorable mentions written down, but since we're there, I'm going to do some honorable mentions off the top of my head, and that's The Howling, Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, Teen Wolf, but not Teen Wolf 2, and yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right. Well, fuck you very much for saying Teen Wolf, because that was my first honorable mention.
Okay.
Thought I was going to get that big pop with the, hey, yeah, it is a werewolf, but it's not really. Oh,
he's a Teen Wolf.
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerd, Teen Wolf. 80s comedy, Weird Science. And then, The Wolfman. The original
Of course,
Wolfman
yeah.
is a great movie.
Yeah.
Bad Moon. Have you seen Bad Moon?
I have not.
You never seen Bad Moon? I have the VHS tape.
I'll have to watch it.
Dude, you gotta see it.
Yeah.
Bad Moon is a good werewolf movie. The werewolf effect is terrifying.
Nice.
It still scares me
Nice.
when I think back about it. I haven't seen it for years. Maybe down the road, if we do Nostalgia Killers, we don't need to do multiple werewolf Nostalgia Killers right away, but I'll just give it to you and you can watch it and you'll like it. So, Silver Bullet, Stephen King's Silver Bullet, is not a great movie, but it's one of the werewolves. Yeah. It is a werewolf.
It is a werewolf movie.
Cabin by the Woods, the werewolf.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
I thought that was going to be on your list for sure. That's
totally
the only
forgot
reason
about
I
that
didn't put it on my top
one.
5 is because I thought that you would have that on the list.
I stonered that
I know
one.
you love that movie.
Yeah, I stonered that one.
Have you seen Where?
No.
It's a werewolf movie about a guy who is a werewolf but doesn't really turn into a full werewolf. He's still like a guy with a tiny bit of hair and teeth, and he kicks the shit out. It's like an action movie. He kills a bunch of like FBI agents and shit. It's like a parkour kung fu strongman werewolf human movie.
Is it a Golden Globus movie?
I'll share it with you.
Yeah,
you gotta watch Where.
I've never heard of it. Is it new?
It's a couple years old.
Okay.
Yeah, it's new.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like 2015, 16. Huh. But it's fucking... I started watching it. Me and David were just hanging out playing video games and stuff, and we were watching it too. And then eventually we were just like, oh, we gotta watch it. That was fucking awesome, you know? I gave it no time of day.
Yeah.
I never thought it would be good, and I never even reviewed... It was right before we started doing the show.
Huh.
So maybe 2 years ago.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So... Julie Delpy in American Werewolf in Paris, you know?
Yeah.
Taking off her shirt, riding him.
Growing extra tits.
Growing extra tits right after that. And then the werewolf effects in that movie, it's heavily CGI. Yeah. There's a lot of CGI in that movie, but I really like it because also it's a throwback to American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
You know, and just like we talked about earlier, you know, I didn't really realize how far of a throwback it is. It's the same fucking plot.
Yeah.
She's also a nurse.
Yeah, they just made it a girl.
The friend also... Yeah. 2 friends stalk him, and they're undead. And actually, the effects are better, too, on that part. But, too much CGI and not enough practical. That's why I didn't make the list. The Howling, as you said. And my last one, the Nazi machine gun wolfman from American Werewolf in London. Totally ridiculous.
Yeah, silly as fuck.
Halloween mask.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy that mask at Halloween City these days.
Oh, for sure.
And it was not a great effect, but... That's why I give it such an entertaining rating on.
I wonder what John Landis was thinking with that scene. If he was just trying to be funny, or
he was really thinking cocaine.
I was gonna say, cocaine's probably the answer.
So yeah, that's it for our top 5 werewolves.
Uh-huh.
Werebilfs of Yundon. Werebilfs of Yundon.
There's a great Mystery Science. That's why I keep saying Varvilf. There's a great Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode where they watch a movie that's just called Werewolf. And there's this actress in it who's supposed to be like a super intelligent scientist, but she's obviously stupid as dirt.
Yeah.
And she's from some foreign country, I'm not sure where. And sometimes she has an accent and sometimes she doesn't, but she can never say werewolf right. But she says it wrong different ways throughout the entire movie. Werewolf, Varvilf, Warwolf. And throughout the entire movie, the bots, and I think it was a Mike movie. You know, they're just continually making fun of how she's saying the word wrong and just exploiting it for all it's worth. And it's Varvilf. Every time I see the word werewolf, that's what I think.
Well, we did leave off a couple of werewolf movies. Underworld had some werewolves. You know? Cursed as well.
Never saw that.
It's very ungood.
Okay.
So. And Underworld 2, it's not really good.
No.
You know, she's very hot, but...
If Kate Beckinsale was not in that movie, it would not be worth watching.
No, if they removed the action from that movie, it would be worth watching.
Yeah.
Well, the actors are good.
You know what the problem...
Everything is good except for it's too action-based. It's like The Matrix with werewolves. That's what they went for.
The thing is, when they made Underworld, they ripped off a bunch of World of Darkness shit. And White Wolf Games saw that. And went, oh, no, if you're going to rip off our shit, you're going to pay us. And they went, oh, no, we're not going to pay you. We're just going to hack our fucking movie to bits. And that's why the first Underworld is so flawed. Is they cut out so much of it and then just made up the difference with shitty action sequences.
That sucks.
So, that's politics.
It is what it is. And so, much like when you get bit on your inner thigh in the middle of the night by
Biff.
a man who claims to be a werewolf. He's a little bit scruffy, hasn't shaved for a while, and his name is Dom.
I'm feeling a little scruffy right now. I guess that's the end.
That's the end.
So,
that's it for our werewolves. So we'll be coming back soon.
As H.P. Lovecraft once said, as he looked up at the full moon and suddenly his penis exploded into a furry wolf cock. If it smells like fish,
throw the fucker back.